Well, it's getting colder. I started a fire, but are you still cold, human?
I can cuddle you if you'd like, treasure.
Oh, look at you two. Like two bugs in a rug. I know. How about I tell you some spooky stories, You were asking about our culture earlier. And isn't it about the time you humans get a little taste for the more scary side of things?
Scary stories? I don't know about that.
Are you saying you're scared, Fume? A big, strong dragon like you, afraid of our little scary story? Of the story of Zamonius and his brother, Eleuthid?
Oh, stars. Not that story. My mother used to tell me it as a kid to make sure I behaved myself. Don't worry, my treasure. I'll protect you. I'll make sure you're totally safe. In my arms. Oh, just tell me if I'm squeezing you too hard, all right?
I see I've piqued the interest of our little human love. Very well. Scary stories by the campfire.
You'll learn a lot, human. This story is very,
It's a true story, based on dragon history. Zamonius and his brother Eleuthid, the creators and founders of dragonkind. Zamonius, protector of creatures, and Eleuthid, the destroyer of life.
Just hearing that name.
They were not always called those names. No. Zamonius and Eleuthid were the closest of brothers. Together, they ruled the dragon region, brought us up to glories we had only imagined. A utopia, some called it. The closest to a true utopia that no other creature species, human, snake, drider, etc., has ever gotten close. Not as close as they did.
The only good part of the story is this part. Imagine living in a place where there's no worries, never having to watch your back.
As Fume said, there was no strife, for dragons at least. Everyone was happy. No one felt any pain, no sadness, no distraughts, no qualms with how things were run. The dragons were happy. And thus, because of all of this, the dragon kingdom rose to new heights. They became the rulers of all magical creatures. Every last one.
And still to this day we are. Oh, Vyra, can we stop the story here? I mean, this is a good note to end it on, right? Oh, am I squeezing you too hard, my treasure? Oh, I'm sorry.
Fume, we have to finish the story. Already getting the jitters, are you? Anyway, back to our story. Unfortunately, Fume is also right about this. This is where the positives end, and the tragedy begins. Zamonius was noble, caring and kind, aware that the chaos of the world could only be contained by the dragons, guiding the other creatures to peace and prosperity. But Eleuthid, he knew that dragons were the most powerful in the living plane, and he wanted total control.
To think a noble heart could be so corrupted so easily.
Eleuthid begged his brother to join him in his conquest to take over the living plane. But Zamonius, knowing that his brother would only cause more chaos to the plane, refused, and instead begged his brother to change his ways, to go back to the loving dragon he once was, the kind one that would never hurt a fly. But Eleuthid's lust for power only grew. It took over his once noble heart, leaving nothing but a blackened cold stone in its place. Hearing his elder brother reject him so made him wrathful. He destroyed Zamonius's family, his children, his wife, and even their younger sister. Gone in a fortnight. The palace burning down, Zamonius could only watch as everything he had built was destroyed. Zamonius vanished for a while, too struck by grief to stop his younger brother.
Oh, this is such a sad part, and it only gets worse from here. Oh, hold me, human. My love, my treasure.
Eleuthid divided the dragon kingdoms. A war raged on, and so many atrocities were, well, they are unspeakable.
And for a reason.
Thus, Eleuthid became the king of the world. However, once Zamonius figured out what he had done, what he was doing to the poor innocent creatures of the land, he stepped back up. He led the Dragon Kingdom, the rebellion, and quickly, Eleuthid was losing. His power, his thirst to rule over everything with an iron fist. It had only grown, a taste of power, total control. He hated what he considered inferior. And now, to him at least, his brother was now inferior. But he could not win. Eleuthid knew this. His brother was far too strong and a better leader than he could ever be. So, he decided to cheat. He went to the gods, the evil ones.
I've only heard stories of them. Imagine facing them in real life, my treasure. I can't even imagine.
Eleuthid gave up his mortal self, and quickly changed into a creature, no, a monster that no one could recognize. His teeth turned jagged, his claws overgrown. His poor skin melted, with black ooze dripping down it. For his body could not handle the power that the gods gave him. But he was powerful, and he never saw what he looked like. Not until his demise, that is. Eventually, he and Zamonius met at Mount Kraken.
That place is a bubbling pile of lava. They say that there's a portal to the hells right in the mouth of it.
Fume,
Sorry, I just wanted to provide some context.
Anyway, Zamonius and Eleuthid saw each other. But Zamonius could not recognize his brother, for he had been warped into a thing. Something that has never been seen before and will never be seen again. Even to this day, we do not know what Eleuthid truly looked like. Zamonius refused to say. All we know is that a battle ensued, and Eleuthid, powered by the gods, was way too powerful. He struck down Zamonius with ease, but before he could do the finishing blow, saw himself in Zamonius's sword, a sight so awful to Eleuthid that he gouged out his own eyes and started walking backwards, screaming, "What is that thing? It cannot be me. It cannot be." Eleuthid was a sight so horrid that even seeing himself, for a mere moment, was enough to drive him even more insane than he already was. He walked back, until he fell into the volcano, the gate to the hells. His last words we only know because he screamed it to the heavens, a scream so loud that heaven, hell, and earth heard it. The scream that broke the barrier of the worlds. "Help me, brother. Save me." And then a scream, and it was done. Swallowed up by the lava and sent to the hells, where he is repaying his debt to this day. Some say when you finish the tale of Zamonius and Eleuthid, you can hear the remnants of Eleuthod's last words and screams. "Help me, brother. Save me."
I hate that part, Vyra.
I got both of you, didn't I? It's true. Eleuthod's screams can be heard after the story is finished. Some say it's a punishment from the gods he took the power from. Let this be a story never to deal with the evil gods, Oh, you look scared half to death.
Of course we are.
Come here, you two. Let Mama Vyra hold you and cuddle you. I'll make sure you're protected from the big, bad, scary monsters.
This was your plan all along, wasn't it? Honestly, Vyra.
Maybe it was, but I don't see either of you complaining.
I'll get you back for this one day.